and we are underway.
Stoop long? Who is that?
I don't know. It's a reference to something that I've never caught. But anywho, piece of heart to start in Link's house, and we're making our way to figuring out what that uncle item is going to be. Oh, but we get a map check. Crystals at Desert and Hera, and a blue pendant at Eastern.
So aside from little things like, say, getting in an early map check, the start of the standard is pretty standard. It's mostly all down to execution and a little bit of luck depending on if you can get a bomb drop somewhere. Now,
Hey.
your wish for a sword from the uncle came true, so it's going to be real easy farming for that bomb now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I like to see.
Randomized, by the way, says chat. I mean, it is kind of still randomized because if this was truly vanilla, you would also get a shield at the same time. I think the best for you could hope for for vanilla in standard would be like a shield from the chest in Link's house, although normally that would be lamp. Then the sword from the uncle, and then the shield from the shield from the chest afterwards. So that would also be lamp in vanilla, if you didn't pick it up in Link's house.
And we get bombs in the first chest and escape, so we don't even need to farm bombs. We just gotta... You could almost say we almost gotta go NMG on this route.
Yeah, pretty much. So we're going to be looking at some quick escape times here. No need to mess around with bombing guards or anything. No need to mess around with farming. Just get through it as quickly as possible.
Yep, basically just have 3 more guards to kill. Oh, now 2. And then, just make our way to the boss of the escape sequence, the rat. Oh, and hey, here's more bombs.
So thalane is only like about a third of a second behind SuperNinTaylor at the moment, but he did do that map check, so Nintaylor hasn't done that yet, so they don't have the knowledge, so they'll probably be doing that once they are out of escape. But you know, it's just these little things that if we have like a really jet seed where everything falls into place for our runners, it's going to be down to execution. So just even the little things like this can count.
At the same time, we all know how the randomizer works, and eventually there's going to be a troll item. It's just a matter of when it's going to show up. And of course, Chad is thinking of all the nasty ways this seed could unfold.
Honestly, one of the earliest races I did, which was it was either standard or open, but a fairly vanilla seed as far as settings go. But it had both the fireworks and the ice rod and the laser bits. I'm really hoping to see that happen again one day. My absolute favorite moment ever.
Both runners making good. About 4 minutes in on the return trip, and now going to make our way into the sewers.
So as we're in the series, runners get the purposes of a free light cone just for getting through. Because if you don't find a lamp before now, then you would be expected to fumble through this in the dark, and that obviously breaks the logic of Randomizer. So if you're going for a standard seed, you always get a light cone down here, and then you lose that light cone once you're out of escape.
Still keeping an eye out for that map. Since we're just playing standard, dungeon items are in their respective dungeons, so If we don't find a map in the back of Escape, that means it's going to be in the Sanctuary chest.
Thalane pulling a little ahead here. SuperNinTaylor actually went back for a bit to pick up an extra bomb for her at.
And there's that map with 1 1/4 hearts.
So aside from those bombs, because I don't believe you get any bombs in the vanilla escape unless one happens to drop from a rat, and this is looking pretty vanilla so far with the rupee drops and the heart container. The piece of heart is randomized too, you would normally get one down here. But let's see what we get in the Sanctuary chest, which would normally be the Sanctuary heart. It's 50 rupees.
Yep, and so 6 minutes in from here, the world is the runner's oyster.
Yeah, 6 minutes escape, pretty good. Thalane's going immediately north to go check out the lumberjacks to see if Aga is necessary today, while SuperNinTaylor is just making their play straight into Lost Woods and leave the lumberjack alone. Bombs from the tree pool, so we're going to have no problems with our bombs today, heading into Kakariko and South Hyrule and wherever else.
And bush crabs are hiding fairies!
That is unusual. Very, very rare to see. Oh, there's a bow in the bottom of the Thieves hut.
We got Archer class in Lost Woods, and we got a big 20 on the Lumberjack ledge, so not worrying about that.
Unfortunately, Eastern Palace is a pendant, so that disincentivizes just clearing it straight away with that bow.
And there's also a Master Sword, so we're close to Aga.
Yeah, they forgot to stick the Master Sword in the actual pedestal, they just left it lying around on the ground. That's not how you take proper care of swords.
No, it's not. No, not at all. I will say, though, with, as much as Eastern Palace is a pendant, if I get early bow, that's one of those things that I would have a tendency to rush, Eastern when I could. We're getting a bit of an early divergence, though, because Thalane noped and is heading south, while NinTaylor's getting bacon in Blind's house as well as a mirror.
Tempered Sword and Mirror. This is looking like, if we can get some means of Dark World access, this is looking pretty jet seat so far. But Thalane taking an unusual decision to skip Kakariko and go to South Hyrule first. Kind of looking for that early edge here. So, piece of heart under the water. And a single arrow.
Brian, we found your cane in the well. Please come to the Lost and Founds at Kakariko to pick it up.
Lots and lots of hearts in the well.
Yeah, we're already up to 8 on NinTaylor's side.
8 hearts and a temper sword before 10 minutes in the sea. That is pretty crazy. Blue boomerang from the board defender.
And we have some literacy in Mini Trolldorm Cave, as well as the lamp. And the silver arrows in Chicken Hut, so Aga is now open.
Yeah, as is all of Eastern Palace, technically. I mean, with that bow, you can just clear Eastern Palace without too much trouble, because getting through the Dark Rooms in Eastern Palace is... There's some of the easiest Dark Rooms, but the lamp actually puts it all in logic now. But it's also a pendant, so again, do you really want to head up there? Considering how much the sea has thrown at you already?
Yeah, and see, that's kind of the interesting thing here with having a best of 5 in this group stage, because I would say right now I wouldn't want to do too big of a gamble, because this is the first race and you don't want to throw away a win so early. But if you were trying to get if you were like desperate for a win, ooh, flute on race game.
This Kakariko is absolutely loaded.
Because that gets us to Hera. And once you put the fire source together, Hera is now full clearable, so Death Mountain certainly would be a call-in at this point.
And thalane is headed over to the eastern area. At the very least, he's going to be checking out Sahasrara here, get 3 items. Maybe he's going to take that bow and full clear all of eastern already. Although, we do have access to a crystal dungeon, so this Kakariko skip is not looking too good for thalane right now, as SuperNinTaylor picks up their flute.
And then Taylor gonna run back and pick that up. We got more Aga access as well as a bunch of cash.
thalane is not taking a safe and crit, so they are committing to Eastern Palace. This is very, very unusual, doing an Eastern Palace pendant clear before doing Kakariko. I cannot agree with this. thalane is going for the big gamble here, and it's not a gamble I would ever make myself.
It certainly would be interesting to ask him what his thinking was if we get him in for an interview after the race. But, I mean, I will say, considering I like the Pendant Dungeon music more than the Crystal Dungeon music, I'll take Pendant Dungeon music, even if it may have some logical issues.
So SuperNinTaylor now doing their South Isle checks, which is like, you do the Kakariko clear, you do the South Isle clear, it's all pretty normal routing from him. And I don't think there's any chance at all he'll be heading to Eastern with that flute in hand. He's just going to head up to South Hare and get his first crystal as soon as possible. By my reckoning, anyway.
Well,
What?
If SuperNinTaylor goes to Eastern, he'll get butter.
Okay, butter sword before 15 minutes. I have never seen that before. So, yeah, we've just got to find some gloves somewhere, maybe hammer or titan smiths, and yeah, we have got a jet seed going here. I think power gloves being in Desert Palace themselves would be pretty nasty, because you do have access to Desert Palace now with that book, but you can't clear it, so you can't get to the back without.
Alright, Pyramid Theory is nothing with just 2 pieces of heart. And Taylor heads for Ice Rod Cave.
Thalane's picked up both a map and a compass, so he's heading round to the big key chest, which is a bit of a trek. But at least it is in logic. Just 10 hours in the Ice Rod Cave. So lots of juicy items in all the like easy to check spots, and then more out of the way stuff like Lumberjack or the Ice Rod Cave. There's just nothing really. Gotta be wondering what pops up in Hera here, and I guess the old man too.
Yep, which is what SuperNinTaylor is up to right now. And Cane of Samaria in Eastern.
Ooh, okay, this gamble for thalane is definitely paying off now.
Now there is a chance, since we have 2 pendants in the Dark World, there is a chance Meyer and Turtle Rock are the other pendants, which means we could have a Samaria-less seed on our hands. But if one of those 2 is a crystal, SuperNinTaylor has to go to Eastern.
Yes, Samaria-less seeds are possible, Firewall-less seeds are possible, but both of them are pretty rare, all things considered. And even then, sometimes you might have like the pendants in those dungeons, and you don't need to go in the dungeons at all. But then the big key in Ganstar ends up being on the right side, so you hit the switch with a cane, and yeah, little things like that. The one seed I have seen where you didn't need the firewall just popped up in Ganstar anyway before the big key. So
Alright, heart container.
Taking on armors now. Unfortunately, without the silver house from Kakariko. Above the pose is armor upgrade. Oh, and 10 hours from the armor knights.
As well as a pendant.
We can't count out the pedestal just yet, but this is looking like a pretty speedy siege so far, except that Kane in Eastern Matters may throw a bit of a curveball if Nintendo just decides to never go to the eastern area. Flame's back at Link's house. Taylor already going to check out that Ether tablet before Hera.
And gets the Moon Pearl for it. So at this point, we've got the 2 items in Hera. We've got Agahnim, and we've got potentially 2 items in, 2 items in Desert that could be holding us, could be stopping us from having to make a pit stop at the bad old wizard. Unique items in Blind House. Gee, thanks, game. We kind of already figured that one out.
I mean, Thalane could, theoretically, he could take that flute here, go activate the flute, and then skip Blind's hideout, and go to Tower Fair, then get the hint, and think, oh, I should go do Blind's hideout. But, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Alright, Piece of Heart's first item in Hera. Joke hint. And Taylor's gonna set up a bomb jump to check the big chest. And gets it done for the small key. Alright. Gonna do chicken shack here. And it's trolling time for Taylor. Although with that butter sword, should be pretty straightforward.
And a huge amount of life. He can just basically run into Moldorm and slash his tail.
A swing and a spin and a troll is a dead. For 300 bucks in the first crystal of the game, 18 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen, swag duck time. And as always, the Hawk's about to rock, and we salute you. So basically, at this point, we're down to desert area to avoid an Agahnim, and it looks like Taylor's at least going to check Sahasrah's closet. Maybe go ahead and do Eastern as well.
So, just over 19 minutes in, Thalane already has Butter Sword. And Silvers, and Bow. He's got to be wondering what's going on here.
And yet, a glove and a hammer are nowhere to be in sight.
Honestly, forcing Agahnim now at this point would just be really, really rude. Anyway, Taylor is heading over to Eastern, so he's going to get his cane and probably a useless pendant, but we can't quite count it out at this point. Alright, we've got both runners retracing each other's steps at the moment. So Thalane's going to do the Tower of Heraclea, get the moon pearl from the ether tablets unless they forget about their book, which I very much doubt it's going to happen because these are top tier runners. Thalane of Team Awesome, I believe they came second in the divisions, and they won 3-2 in the playoffs against the last locationers. And Fiami will do an interview. Actually got a bye, so they didn't have to play their first set of games because they came top of division. But these are some of the absolute best runners in the league, so little things like, say, skipping ether tablet when you have a book, it's not going to happen unless Thalane is going for the super gambles. He already kind of went for a super gamble considering he went and did Pendant Eastern Pass before Kakariko, but honestly, it's so convenient checking out ether tablet here that I doubt he'd do anything particularly crazy like that.
I mean, given the hype you gave to both of our runners, this is obviously a perfect time to make sure that you do give both of them a follow on Twitch, because they certainly deserve it for the action they're gonna be giving us today. But to be honest, to your point, Ocelot, that's kind of the thing about an Agaseed, is sometimes you have these if Desert doesn't have anything, we're going to end up basically bringing everything into a wash, because everyone's going to do everything. Sorry, both runners are going to do everything before they go to Aga 1, because neither one's going to risk it until they absolutely have to. All right, map check. Meyer is the red pendant, green pendant at Pod, 5-6 at, it looked like Thieves Town and Ice Palace. So we are going to need that Cane of Samaria that Taylor is about to pick up.
Yeah, both Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness are pendants. That's got to stink with that early bow. Thalane gets a Moon Pearl, NinTaylor gets a Cane of Samaria, and it is also headed over to kill Amos. So the runner's going to be, pretty much by the time they finish their respective bosses, they're going to be in roughly the same place again.
Thalane making good use of that mirror to kind of get back and do the first two checks pretty rapidly.
Okay, NinTaylor heading into the Almost Nice with the silver, so this is going to be a super quick kill for him. So he's going to have a little bit of an advantage here, because he did do that early Kakariko play, got the silvers early, had a little bit more of a nice personal routing compared to Thalane, who went to Eastern early, but it's only going to be probably, assuming Thalane doesn't take any Trolldom falls or anything, there's only going to be about half a minute or a minute's difference between them. So NinTaylor is headed over to the desert area, which makes sense because he can check out Agahnim here. He can also get inside desert with a book, and there is a mail upgrade on the ledge outside. So both of our runners have had the hint about armor being above the pose, so they may choose to go out of their way to get that blue mail, or they may just decide to go for green mail for a whole seed.
Troll dead for Thalane. And we got the hint about the other armor upgrade being above the pose. Granted, at 10 hearts at this point, if you know that the other armor upgrade is on the desert ledge, I don't really think either runner's going to go for red mail.
Yeah, absolutely. Red mail is just not going to happen this time. Checking out the graveyard ledge takes a lot of time. The desert ledge, if you already seen it, you go on your way out there to maybe clear the back of deserts. You might sort of grab it. Although if the gloves don't pop up here in desert for NinTaylor very shortly, could well skip that mail.
Well, both runners are into desert, so we're going to know here pretty rapidly if we've got a date with the wizard. And Big Key's on the torch, so we also need boots.
And this was such a promising jet seed to begin with. But we've still got Agahnim coming up on NinTaylor's side. He is skipping that mail upgrade, which is perfectly understandable. I mean, when he comes back to do Maya later, he could always may have boots at that point. He could just dash over and pick it up if he so chose. But with that amount of hearts, yeah, we could just be seeing a runner stick to green mail only. Alright, Agahnim, are you forcing us an Aga seed on us? You are.
Yep!
And this was so promising to begin with.
I mean, it depends on what you mean by promising. Because we had Master's Sword before we even got to CAC, and we got the lamp in CAC, so it was promising to be an Agassiz pretty early on.
Sure, but it could have been, like, if the hammer or the Titan Smith had popped up, we could have been saving 8 minutes off this, what had been so far really jet seed.
But to your, to a point you brought up early on, you know, as we had kind of the jet escape sequence, you know, we've reached this point where both runners have done every check possible, and NinTaylor's got a little bit of a lead on thalane because of that. And so to your earlier point, like, every second's gonna start counting, because now everything that could have been done up to Aga has been done by both runners, and NinTaylor has a little bit of an advantage on thalane heading into the Dark World.
Now, chat was talking about Zora, and Zora isn't in logic right now because you need this or the gloves for it. You can go check out Zora and the Waterfall Cave and the Hobo by doing fake flippers, but that's not in logic right now. Both of our runners are thinking, Aga's a logical play, I've got to go to Aga. So thalane heading into the tower just before 28 minutes in, and NinTaylor's in the dark floors.
Nafaxa in chat was...
Alright, NinTaylor nearly at the top of the tower here. Uses the boomerang to stun the guards to get past. Nice to use.
Very nice. But it's time, because time to figure out how many blue balls the old wizard's gonna throw at us.
I've been going with like 4 or 5 blue balls in the last races, so considering this has unfortunately turned out to be an Agassiz, I'm just going to be nice and say 1 blue ball.
I'm gonna go with 3. But as always, we get 1 guaranteed ball, then we get 3 randos, shot of lightning, and we spin again. So far, we got 2 normal shots up to this point. And there's the first blue ball. And 2.
Oh well, dream ruins again. So this is another guaranteed spell. Normal spell.
So that puts us at 3-2, or actually 4-2 now. 5-2, and so 2... Oh wait, no, we got 1 more to go here. So it's either going to be 2 or 3, and it's going to be 3! because this next one will be the required one, and that'll take care of Aga 1.
Taylor doing some sympathetic spinning with Aga, and is in the Dark World. So we can't get very far around the Dark World. We can go check out Catfish, because unlike Zora, we can get to the Catfish without the gloves or flippers. We can go into Pendant Pod, which isn't pleasant. And that's pretty much it, really.
But certainly seems required. Alright, M. Maxwell was first with 3 blue balls. Critias was also at 3, and Files also got 3. So for all 3 of you, since y'all tied, I can't give you anything. So just, yeah, have fun with that.
So Taylor's skipping the Catfish for now, because it takes quite a lot of time to check Catfish. He already did Aga, he just wants to go check out Pod first, because so many more items there.
Alright, and after paying off the extortionist, both runners will be making their way into pretty much a required pod dip at this point.
Thalane also skipping a Catfish, so he's really only about 30 seconds behind Taylor at this point. Now he could possibly put that gap a bit further behind by, say, like, he picks up Kiki the monkey, then runs into an enemy, so Kiki runs away and he has to retrieve him. But no, there's very little time gap between our 2 runners at the moment. It's mostly came down to just early game routing rather than any luck or mistakes in execution or anything else like that. So, first hint in Pod is useless.
Yep.
Although beans on toast is a great meal.
See, I don't really like beans to begin with, so I'm just... No. Yeah, Pod, for those asking in chat, Pod is the only thing logically that is open at this point. Realistically, we need some sort of progression here. Just a bit outside for NinTaylor on that bomb throw, but gets it the second time. And there's the big key.
Bear in mind, we can't even finish this pod without the hammer popping up in here. So this is just going to be a partial clear for both of our runners.
Yeah, there's a discussion in chat, going on in chat right now about having fake flippered, and would that have made a difference? I mean, it might. The thing is, we won't know until we actually see what was around Lake Hylia and in the Zora area.
And Ice Palace and Swamp Palace are both crystal dungeons, so the flippers are required in this seed. Our runners didn't know that before getting into the Dark World, of course, so... but a sequence break wouldn't benefit them too much, because they're going to need those flippers at some point anyway. And NinTaylor setting up a hammer jump here.
Looks to be just a pixel off. I think he's got it here. Yeah, I think he's got it. And gets the map for it.
Especially if you're checking pod for items and you can't actually finish the dungeon, so you're going to be checking out every chest available to you. And it's not key sanity. I don't think the hammer jump is that necessary. You could just go to Harvest Hellway first.
French vanilla!
See, Thalane has gone for like this side first, the harmless hallway and the dark basement, and got a hammer, and then they can just go over to the big chest and then mirror back to the front. I suppose this would benefit NinTaylor a bit more because he can just loop south out of harmless hallway and then go over to Helmsor if he so chose. But yeah, with that hammer, I don't think they are going to be doing Helmsor just yet.
I mean, it's green pendant. You have an item. And really all that hammer... Well, no, actually, that does quite a bit, because that gets us to Paradox Cave and Spiral Cave and Death Mountain. That gets us to Hype Cave and Stumpy. So there's a lot that it does, but honestly... Granted, I'm not one of the top runners, but I personally, like, if I'm here, I'm finishing it and getting the green pendant. But Thalane says, I'm not Jex Refi. Well, actually, maybe I'm... made a mistake in going back in. Then Taylor, meanwhile, is heading for Helmsar.
I mean, from Thalane's positioning, he was going to have to mirror out anyway. This would get him over to Helmsor quicker. But he did walk out, and then he walked back in.
Yeah, it looks like both runners are heading for Helmsar, which, you know, again, green pendant, you've got the mirror already, so you can just mirror and go turn it into Sahasrahla right away. Like, yeah, it's gonna take about a minute or so, but it's not as bad as it could be.
So our runners are both in the same room again.
Kind of a high five while they're stuck.
NinTaylor heads down the stairs at 37 minutes 5 seconds. And Thalane heads down at 21 seconds. So there's 16 seconds difference between the two runners right now. That is pretty crazy for considering we're 37 minutes in.
I mean, what's going to be interesting here is that there is a possibility for divergence, because like we mentioned, the hammer opens up 2 paths of items. It'd be interesting to see if both decide to do the same thing, or if we get some sort of divergence at this point.
Oh, SuperNinTaylor is taking damage at Helmsor. One more hit will kill him.
But 2 Buttersword slashes and Helmsar's down.
And 1 silver arrow for Thalane, and Helmsor is also down for him. So, pendant sync. So you did raise a good point about the green pendant being here of all places, because you can just hand in the green pendant almost immediately. Just have to mirror it over in this head space here, and you're right outside Salshaska's hut.
And what does the old man give us today? Just a piece of heart. Alright, so NinTaylor goes back to Dark World. That would lead me to believe he's headed for Hype Cave. And Thalane's gonna do the same thing, so even though there's a possibility of divergence, both runners are sticking with kind of what makes sense and just going right for Hype Cave from here.
I mean, if he wants to go to the west side of Dark World, getting around the into the Skull Woods and then going into the portal from the backside, that takes quite a bit of time. And compared to here, where you just either have to walk south and you're already in the Hype Cave area.
True.
So this is undoubtedly faster, and you can also check out Stumpy, you can check out Cave 45 and the digging game.
Alright, let's
Lane is the first one into Hype Cave.
With a bottle, so Sick Kid's now open. Piece of Heart. Power Glove, there's your Dark World access. And Flippers. For a cave that's not very hype, it is certainly hype today. Talane's... Now we're getting divergence. Talane's taking the Flippers. Gonna go do Lake Hylia checks. While NinTaylor's heading for Stumpy and Digging Game. Alright, so Thieves Town is now open. Skullwoods is open, but you still need the Fire Rod to finish it. Swamp is open, but you need the Hook Shop for that. And Desert is now full clearable with the glove. Now we did also get a hint that the Quake Medallion's behind the hammer.
So that is a number of locations that Quake could be in. Of course, we don't know if we need Quake yet, but we may only need one medallion today, because only Turtle Rock is a crystal.
Alright.
Thalane is surprising me by going up to Catfish here.
A lot of digs for a big 20.
NinTaylor just barely manages to avoid the time's up message. And he's going to check out that bottle immediately for Sick Kid, and then probably go into the Village of Outcasts from the Dark World portal. Catfish throws some bombs at us. Sick Kid has a shovel.
Yo, dog, I heard you like fetch quests, so I put a fetch quest in your fetch quest, so you can fetch quest while you fetch quest.
Yeah, NinTaylor's just backtracing his steps almost immediately so he can hand in that quest. He'll gain 50 EXP for this quest, which is just nothing, because Legend of Zelda does not have an EXP system, but he has it. You will get it. You may also get a item of great value or very questionable value.
That would be very questionable.
Picks it up anyway. He's going to get his money's worth on these fetch quests.
Yep. Alright, there once was a fish named Zora, and he gives you flippers and vanilla. But in Rando, he sucks for 500 bucks. We did this stupid trek for 20 bucks.
So Thalane and SuperNinTaylor both have gone for kind of out of the way check, well, kind of like open world checks, and gotten nothing for them.
NinTaylor's gonna get the hypest of open world checks, because we're getting a pedestal check, people.
You know, I'm surprised he's doing this before actually taking the portal into Dark World and at least checking out Skullwoods first, but why not?
And it's a shield, so... Pedestal's dead.
So, Thalane, I thought he was going to go into Spike Cave for a second there, because that's an access now. He can get through it with that hammer and the magic cape, or Cane of Burner. But he's choosing to forego that for now, and making his East F Mountain play.
And Taylor's gonna avoid Skullwoods for now and head for Village of Outcasts. We had a big 20 on the floating island, so not going to worry about that. Drake, Monet, they had book early, so both of them have already checked Ether Tablet.
In fact, Ether Tablet was the moon pearl, so it was 100% required. So, first item on East Death Mountain in Spiral Cave to 20 rupees. Not too promising so far, but we've got Paradox Cave, followed by Super Bunny Cave, and then can't check anything in Hookshot Cave, but still quite a lot of items available to thalane here.
We got drugs in the brewery.
Some really rapid-fire mirror usage by thalane there to delete that block to get into Paradox Cave a bit easier. A trick that's only available to you in the Japanese 1.0 version of Link to the Past. You can't do it on the US or... well, you can't do it on the NTSC or the PAL versions, and you also can't do it in later ports like on the Game Boy Advance. So, ooh, there's a bottle and Ether Medallion in Paradox Cave.
And the hook shot! So now Swamp is open. Alright, so thalane making his way up. Alright, there's a big key in Thieves Town. thalane pulling out the hammer, so not gonna do a pedestal check. And we'll see where thalane goes from there. thalane is gonna continue with the divergence and head to Skullwoods. Alright. So thalane making his way through Skullwoods at this point. Man, at this point, we need fire and ice rods. We need the boots to finish desert, because we know it's boots locked, and then whatever medallion we need for Turtle Rock. So we're good 2, 3, maybe 4 items from go mode. Thalane's not even gonna bother with the... Wait. Thalane's not gonna bother with the big key chest and just gonna head out from here. I wasn't keeping track. I didn't see if he had... If thalane got both items in Skullwoods.
I didn't see that either.
Alright. Vanilla Piece of Heart on the Bumper Cave. And then we'll now make his way to Village of Outcasts.
Although Pedestal is dead, this seed could still throw a curveball. Like, we can get... Well, we don't know what medallion we need to get in Turtle Rock right now, but we could possibly get into there. Possibly go very, very far in to find a fire rod and or an ice rod. Did Blaine actually go to check out Turtle Rock?
No. He left after, after Paradox Cave.
Right. So Blaine is starting his Thieves Town trip a little later after NinTaylor, so it looks like NinTaylor is a bit ahead here, but Blaine has a hookshot. As so often with Thieves Town, when you have a hammer coming into here, there's no item in the big chest, it's just a useless map. It's very, very seldom when you go into Thieves Town and there is actually an item in a big chest, but when there is, you never have the hammer when you first go into here. You always have to double dip afterwards, such as the cruel nature of Randomizer.
Alright. And Taylor follows the script for the first part of Blind. Second part, also good. Dodging those bullets really carefully, and down goes Blind.
Nice, easy kill. Although, that said, 12 heart blind, pretty dangerous, you know?
And that is one of the 5-6 crystals that Taylor just picked up. And I think Taylor's about to go over Thalane's steps and head for Skullwoods. Or do Bumper Cave. Now we did get a hint that an armor upgrade is at Graveyard Ledge, so most likely you won't see the runners head for that. Because they already know what it is.
Thalane getting trolled a bit by those blocks there, trying to hit the switch and just ending up swiping his sword at the blocks to both make a little bit of a mistake and express his rage all in one swift movement.
Well, I stand corrected, and Taylor is walking right past Graveyard Ledge and is heading for the Zora checks.
Yeah, he's going to get his bomb from Catfish.
You can also check Mushroom. Setting up the mirror bonk.
This is a trick I only saw recently, but it's a very nice trick. Doesn't take you that much time, but it's just so convenient.
And single green rupee on the mushroom. And since Taylor didn't save and quit, we don't see a hard reset for a potential fake powder.
It looks like both of our runners are pretty concerned with staying on logic here. Neither decides to do fake flippers and check out the Zora area before doing Aga 1. And NinTaylor is obviously foregoing that magic bat out of logic too.
Which, having now seen what was in on the Zora checks, honestly, we haven't. NinTaylor did hobo, right? I think he did.
He did. He didn't get anything.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like the Zora checks. You know, you could have tried to do a fake flipper, but it really wouldn't have stopped you from needing to do Aga. Thalane following the script just as well as NinTaylor did. Ooh, takes one hit, but Blind is down.
Technically, he went off script as soon as he tried to hammer one of those flying blinders heads, because why not?
Well, let's put it this way. He was doing pretty good, not taking any damage until the very end.
So if Thalane gets their third bottle, they already have a bottle of blue goo and a bottle of fairy, so I doubt they'll be going up to pick up any more potions at this point.
Alright, and Taylor making his way to Paradox Cave to get his hook shot.
So Thalane hands in their fetch quest to get another fetch quest. Probably be doing the same shovel route that SuperNinTaylor did, right after doing all these other things like the brewery and Stumpy, but although he already did Stumpy. Or was it Nintaylor or Thalane that did Stumpy and the digging game?
That was Nintaylor. Thalane went east after doing Hype Cave.
Right, yes.
But we are gonna get a potion, or not potion, a fake powder, it looks like. So this is pretty simple. You just drain your magic meter, you try to use the Cane of Samaria, and exactly on the frame that you start, you go to the mushroom, Viola, fake powder. For a hoard of cash.
Fun fact about fake powder, you can do it pretty much anywhere. You can use it to, if you're in Ganon's tower and you're finding yourself in a really dire spot and you don't have any safeties on hand at all, just fake powder and anti-fairy and boom, there's your fairy. So Nintaylor's going to get his hookshot here, and Thalane's going to get their really long digging game for 20 rupees. So we can dip into... No, we can't dip into Ice Palace because no fires... No way of killing the freezers in the first room.
Also no Titan's mitts.
Yes. We can't get into Turtle Rock. We can dip into Swamp. We can finish off Desert Palace. I don't remember if there's another item to get... Well, no, we can't finish off Desert Palace because we need to get the big key from the torch. It's looking like Swamp Palace is in our future.
Yeah. I think that's where we're going to be converging shortly. And that is where Nintaylor is heading.
Yeah, so Nintaylor's going to be just a little ahead getting into Swamp here because Flame still has to do their shuffle check.
I mean, that's what's been so interesting about this race is just kind of... It's kind of seems like it opens up and then it kind of bottlenecks into Aga. And then it continued that bottleneck through Pod. Now it kind of opened up with the checks, and now it's bottlenecked back to Swamp. So it's very interesting how it hasn't felt linear, but in a lot of ways it's ended up linear.
Just a little bit of divergence here. Thalane is going to do the Bomber's Tablet before heading into Swamp. I mean, we need to get both rods, we need to get boots, so... quite a few items we took. Well, let's boots.
Speaking of...
Okay, well, that is really good for Thalane. It's not going to save him too much time in Swamp Palace, but, you know, if Nintendo puts off the Bomber's Tablet for a little bit, then he's going to fall behind a little bit.
I mean, this is definitely going to give Thalaine an advantage running through Swamp. But you would hope Nintaylor checks Bombo's Tablet after finishing Swamp Palace.
It's like, if Nintaylor gets like a Titan's Mitts and Firewall combo in here, he may decide just go straight to Ice Palace and get that out of the way. But it really depends on what we find in here. So, that's actually quite unusual, really. Both tablets were necessary in this seed.
Yeah, that is quite unusual.
It wasn't particularly troublesome given how early and convenient the book was to get, but, you know, having both tablets have useful items is quite rare. Alright, there's a Craig medallion in Swamp Palace.
So that's what the hint was referring to. I mean, honestly, if there's nothing else in here in Swamp Palace, now we do know that there from a hint that the compass is in the big chest, so we're not going to see any of them open that. I mean, if we don't find anything else, that kind of bottlenecks us back to desert.
And you've also got the potential for a minor gamble here of skipping left side or not skipping left side. I would imagine neither of our runners, even Thalane first boots, are not going to skip left side.
Well, the thing is, because we just found the big key, and we know the compass is in the big chest, there's gonna be an item on the left side.
Indeed. But you can still, like, gamble. The left side takes so much time to do. Maybe it's just got 3 bombs or 10 rupees or, you know, do I really want to do this for those 10 rupees? Or do I just want to go for the speed play and hope I get lucky? That said, before doing left side, it is completely standard to do Argus and then go back into Swamp Palace. So both our runners choosing to do that. So Thalane gets to, NinTaylor gets to Argus at 1 hour 2 minutes 29 seconds. We'll compare with Thalane in this.
And with just holding out the sword, just making quick work of the mini Argai. And now just gonna shoot a silver arrow in the big eye. And goodbye.
Missed his first shot. Oh, and that's just only rupees from Argus. Ooh, Thalane swims a little too far and gets stuck on that tektite in the water.
And then Taylor is heading out a left side swamp, but will get his boots.
So first boots, he's just going to head immediately into Desert Palace, because it's all he can do. So, well, like I mentioned, there is the left side, and NinTaylor is skipping that left side.
I mean, Flanktuary is now open with those boots. So, you've got the one item in left side, you've got the one item left in Desert, and then the 2 Flanktuary locations.
But NinTaylor just walked off screen and then used the flute to get back to the desert point by the where you normally lift up the rock with Titan Smiths to get to the portal. I think that actually cost him a few seconds there, just doing that rather than, you know, just dashing to the left and dashing up to her desert. Thalane is going back to the left side. He's skipping that big chest because he got the hint earlier.
Alright. Desert Big Chest. Map. Lambo has a second item.
Thalane has picked up his key without flooding it. He's now flooded the passageway. He's going to get over to the left side. Check out the two items there. One is going to be useless. One could be a game changer. NinTaylor does dash out to pick up that blue mail because why not? So this could be a game changer for Thalane. If he gets a really necessary item here, this gives him a good advantage. If he doesn't, NinTaylor will have a bit of an advantage by a few minutes. But Thalane will have no choice but to head over to Desert Palace anyway.
Well, let's see. Nope!
Okay, so NinTaylor definitely gains a few minutes lead here. Thalane nearly saves some crits, but he's got a faster rate to Desert Palace.
Gonna check Mushroom first. Alright, 3 strikes, the Lambos are out.
So this has got to be either Firewall or Titans.
Or not.
What?
Flanktuary. There's still Flanktuary. Actually, neither runner checked the vanilla big key chest in Skullwoods also, so that's another check that could be done also.
And NinTaylor is in South Hyrule. Where's he going? Oh, he's going to check Hobo.
Yeah, he hasn't done this yet.
NinTaylor is... yeah, he's fluting to 3. Thought about it for a few seconds on where he was going to go.
Yeah, I think the question he was trying to figure out was what was the fastest way to Flanktuary.
So we have 2 locations here, the Bonkoks and the King's Tomb, flanking the Sanctuary on both sides of it, hence Flanktuary.
And Bombos is one of those items. So at least now we don't have to worry about medallions.
So this has got... did NinTaylor not check out Lumberjack?
No, Thalane was the one that did that.
Okay. Yeah, so he's going to lose a little bit of time here by actually diving down and going straight for the item, because that was just 20 Rube. So we can get into Ice Palace now. We can finish Ice Palace with our Bombers Medallion. So...
still need Titansmiths.
oh, yep, true. So... I always forget about this Titansmith for Ice Palace. So NinTaylor has to get an item from the King's Tomb here, or they're going to go up to Skullwoods instead. Yeah, he's just flat out skipping the King's Tomb.
He can't. Again, Titansmiths.
Up there.
He can do it with the mirror.
Okay, yeah.
But he's got to be in. He's got to be in Dark World to do that.
Titansmiths, how I hate thee.
Alright, so NinTaylor is heading into Skullwoods.
Thalane is also going to find out a very small minuscule piece of metal is on the pedestal today, or forgets to read his book and just gets a bunch of gibberish instead, firstly.
And Thalane is also heading back to Skullwoods to check the vanilla big key chest. So again, we're pulling back to even here. Both runners have basically done everything they can up to this point, and now we're into this room at the same time.
Hey, we've got some sync going on.
Yes. And King's Tomb. So if it's Fire Rod, it only opens up Moth to kill Mothula, because there still is an item in Skullwoods. If it's Titan's Mitts, that opens up Ice Palace, and in theory opens up Turtle Rock, but yeah, I would imagine you'd do Ice Palace first, and then Taylor's going back to Swamp. Gonna get that heart container. Oh, we keep forgetting about Spike Cave.
I did mention Spike Cave earlier, yeah. That's actually been open for quite some time.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, so yeah, Taylor doing left side swamp earlier is now doing it now, and it's going to lose quite a bit of time because it's got to reflood, well, drain the dam again.
Alright.
Okay.
It's in Spike Cave!
Well, it's not necessarily in Spike Cave. There's also Ice... No, it's not Ice Palace. It's in Spike Cave. Yeah. Ah. Titan Smiths, how I hate thee. Blaine is looking a little bit stuck here.
I think he's forgotten that he hasn't done Spike Cave yet.
SuperNinTaylor is at a disadvantage here now, doing left side swamp. Thalaine is at a if he's stuck and doesn't think of Spike Cave, that's just going to let SuperNinTaylor pull ahead again.
Alright, we'll see if Thalane flutes to 1. No, he flutes to 5.
Oh dear.
Thalane, you...
Did he hand in his green pendant? I'm sure he did. So he's killed Hermosaur.
Could they have skipped an item on the vanilla big key chest? Because I'm trying to... I mean, that's one of those that can be like burn a key to get a key.
He doesn't have any keys left. I don't remember anybody checking out the vanilla big key chest, but...
well, it's closed. Yeah. Oh, he never did these 2 checks.
Really? That's... Okay, so there's a key.
So there's the key. Thalane did not... No, Thalane did hammer yump. So this is probably burn a key to get a key.
Yeah. And this is 100% a play because he has forgotten Spike Cave. He thinks he already did it. Or something like that. He was up on East Death Mountain earlier from the Dark World, so... he's very near to Spike Cave, and he thought he'd done it. So, I'm guessing he thought he'd done it, so yeah, he's kind of stuck.
Alright. Alright, and Taylor flutes away. Thalane does as well. And then Taylor's going for Spike Cave. So is Thalane.
Oh, Flane, you had a couple minutes there, but you've just burned it with your slight moment of confusion. Like, the cruel nature of Rando, you think you may have done a location, or you just slips off your mind, and this allows, even though you might have a couple minutes advantage, this just allows the other runners to catch up. So NinTaylor pulls ahead again.
It's just funny how this seed just keeps bringing the runners back to the same spot, where they're just seconds apart from each other. And it's Titan's midst, so to Ice Palace we go.
None of them are gambling on Turtle Rock just yet. Oh dear, this could be ending up with both rods in Turtle Rock again. Maybe not on Laser Bridge, but I have seen both rods on Laser Bridge before. I would love it if it happened again. I'd love it.
Well, Thalane already has potions. And then Taylor gets a health refill, and now gonna flute away. Alright, here we go. Unique item is on a tablet. Gee, thanks, game. We kinda already figured that out twice now.
So SuperNinTaylor fluted to the desert area, thought about checking Maya Shed, and then decided, nah, I'm just going to go straight to Ice Palace. And so Thalane is now ahead again by a single minute. This race is just completely back and forth all the time. I love it.
Again, please be sure to get both Thalane and Taylor follows on Twitch for this very entertaining race we have, and it looks like it could come down to the wire. Because, like, if Fire Rod is the only thing here, you figure both runners do Skullwoods before making a decision on either Pendant Mire or Crystal Turtle Rock without the rods. Bombs are in Mimic Cave. I mean, it's, like we've said, this whole race is basically it keeps bottlenecking the runners back to the same locations to where this thing really could come down to the wire.
So we're really waiting for items to pop up here in Ice Palace. There's the big key.
That'll at least help with routing. Compass there.
We get another high five in the H-shaped room here.
Map.
Okay, so it's all potential gravy from here. Potential. There's still quite a few items we could get here that doesn't let us get any progress.
Yeah, we found, except for one small key, we've found all the dungeon items at this point. Another joke hint there.
Springball are behind Ridley. No, it's an NG tank behind Ridley. Silly Hintar, what are you talking about? That said, I really do like the combo randomizer, so you could totally find something behind Ridley there.
The combo randomizer is one of those things that just I'm scared to try it, to be honest. And I've actually been able to do entrance shuffle, so that's saying something. All right, we found 2 items so far: heart container and $50. So just 1 item left in.
We've got another high five again. Both runners doing bomb jumps across the same pit in different directions.
Oh, this game has just been. It just keeps giving it to us. Chat is calling that an explosive high five. I approve of that.
Alright, so last item is on Coldstay here. Thalane doesn't have much health left, but he's got some really nice items for taking on Coldstay. Although he's got a lack of magic. He's got a blue potion, so he'll be fine. He could just chuck that.
He'll have enough to activate Bombos. And with the Butter Sword, it's really easy to put Cold Stare in a corner.
Just enough magic for that Bombos.
Alright. Let Cold Stare free, put him in a corner, couple Butter Sword slashes, and blink and you miss it, Cold Stare's down.
So what does the 3 scoops of ice cream say what?
It's the Ice Rod!
Oh boy, so yeah, do you go into Turtle Rock now, or do you go to Mizumaya? At least it's not going to be double rod and laser bridge.
I mean, me personally, Thalane's gonna go to Meyer. We'll see if he's just doing the outside checks or actually goes in. NinTaylor. Smith Chain, maybe?
King's Tomb.
No, I thought he did King's Tomb.
He only did Bog Rocks.
Okay.
Then he went up to check the Lumberjack and then left. Okay, so it's Bombers to get in Maya.
Which we have all 3, both runners have all 3 medallions, so we're not worried about that. Picalax ALT in chat saying TR now a gamble because there could be keys on the front right side. I mean, honestly, that to me is kind of more reason why I probably would do it. Because if the Fire Rod is needed to go further into Turtle Rock, it's gonna boot you out sooner than gambling a mire that you can full clear. But Chad also pointing out we do have Smith Chain that is also on deck. And should point out earlier, we did get a hint that 2 pieces of heart are in Pyramid Ferry, which is why you see neither runner heading for that location.
So Thalane's gambling on Turtle Rock here, and NinTaylor, they're checking out typical Board Cave, and then we just have to see what he does next after this. He's taking the Mirror Portal, so he's going to do Mizumaya.
And it's Ether for Turtle Rock.
So a little bit of Medallion sync going on here. Both of our runs getting into Medallion dungeons.
Alright, Telane's gonna do Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny first, at least.
Of course, I forgot Thalane had these available to him, so yeah.
Yeah, no one's checked these just yet. There's Powder.
He already fake powdered a magic bat and got nothing, so he knows that's not needed.
NinTaylor did not, though. That should be noted.
Yes.
So NinTaylor does not know that Matt has not seen Magic Bat, and there hasn't been a hint that says what's there. Alright, Super Bunny Cave. Do we have anything here? Nope. And nope.
And Thalane, it looks like he's going to dip into Turtle Rock now because he's not taking the save and crit.
I mean, this Fire Rod is go mode for both of our runners. So first one to find it will have an advantage.
Now, if Thalane is key locked in the front here, he's going to be out of Turtle Rock pretty quickly, so this isn't too bad for him, like you mentioned, because he did have Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny to check out as well.
I mean, if this is not a small key, he's already booted out, but it is.
So he gets his small key, and then it's good. The case of diving into Turtle Rock without rods is how deep does the rabbit hole go? Because you're obviously skipping out those two chests on the right side, and it's just a matter of how many keys you can get, how far you can get in the dungeon before you're just kicked out. Now, you might be able to get all the way to Trinex with these keys, but if you don't have the fire rod, you're stuck either way.
Well, either way, if this is not a small key here, this is the next inflection point. But it's the Fire Rod! 127.35, Talane's in go mode!
So, like, I was talking about how deep does the rabbit hole go, how many keys you can get to go in a sequence. Well, you're stopped there, but you get the fire rod, so you can go backtrack and get your key anyway. Nice logic. So NinTaylor checking out the cutscene side of them. This costs him quite a bit of time. He's not going to get anything here, and he may go and do the Smith's Chain, not get anything from that or the purple chest. Yeah, definite advantage to Thalane here now. I've never seen that before. A unique item is in Mini Moldorm Cave. I did not know Mini Moldorm Cave could actually be in the hint pool.
I honestly don't know all of the hints that are in the hint pool.
I'd say that's got to be like next to a unique item is in the Kakariko, where it's got to be one of the most useless hints ever, considering you're all the way in Missing Maya to get that hint.
Talane using that powder to get health refill.
The unfortunate thing for NinTaylor is that he's not even going to get any like potential upgrades that could help him in Ganon's Tower with Ganon, because we got Butter Sword before 20 minutes in the seed. We got Silver Arrows super early. We got the bow super early. And we know where both male upgrades are. So NinTaylor is not going to get anything useful here at all.
Chad also pointing out part of the problem with this mire layout is Vitreous has the second item. So NinTaylor's going to end up full clearing mire.
Barknet also pops up in Turtle Rock, so aside from lack of shields, that track is looking pretty full for thalane right now.
Mm-hmm. Which some runners are pretty proud when they get to do a shieldless seed.
Honestly, without having the shield held in front of him, I think the normal Link sprite looks fairly dopey. Just having the shield in front of the sprite just kind of completes it, in my opinion.
Thalane gets the last key, so on his way to Trinex. Ooh! A bonk gets the swag Samaria dash.
Blink and you miss it, although Vitreous doesn't have any eyelids, so you can't blink anyway. But NinTaylor has already taken down Vitreous, gets a small amount of rupees, a red pendant, and then they've got to head up to Turtle Rock immediately, but they could decide to put things off a little bit further and go to the Smith Chain.
Thalane's just mowing down Trinex. Now still has to finish Skullwoods before we actually start the big key guessing game. So...
yeah,
Trinex...
if you... Sorry,
Trinex down for Crystal 6. Go ahead, Ocelot.
So, if you're a subscriber to any of the Speed Gaming channels or have donated 250 bits, you can enter a big key guessing game and have a chance at knocking Fear Agent off his lofty spot on top of the leaderboard. Somebody really should at this point. He's totally rigged it.
Well, again, gonna have to wait until Skullwoods is finished before we start said game.
I think he's on 8 wins or 9 wins by now. And I saw him in chat earlier. He's trying to rig it again. I know it. Honestly, joking aside, Fear Agent has done a lot of work into setting up the league and setting up everything for our runners, for the staff, and everything else. He's done a lot of work for the league, so him just rigging the big key guessing game just a little bit is almost acceptable.
Alright, so NinTaylor is gonna open up Turtle Rock. May probably do Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny, and then we'll make his way, you would imagine, into Turtle Rock as well. We were talking about upgrades we haven't seen. We still haven't seen half magic.
True, that is a little bit of a gain. It's not, well, it only really helps you get through the tower a bit faster if you just want to nuke stuff with Firerod. Although you've got silver arrows anyway, so it's not even that big a deal. It does help you a lot on Ganon if you're doing it without a tempered sword, because you need to preserve your magic if you're doing spin strats on Ganon.
But we got silver arrows, so we ain't gonna be worrying about spin strats. And just a couple butter sword swings, and Mothula is down for Thalane. Second item was bombs in Skullwood, so there are 22 locations where that Ganon's Tower big key can be in the basement of Ganon's Tower. If you want to play in our guessing game, you need to guess a number between 1 and 22. Having subscribed to one of our 6 speed gaming channels or donate 250 bits. And unfortunately, we got a bunch of people putting in guesses before the bot has actually started, so slow down. Slow down, guys. Now you can start putting your guesses in. Revolving Ocelot, what's your guess?
I always like a 19. I like a good 2 of Ganon's Tower. I always like Ice Armors a hell of a lot, so yeah, 19. And if you're doing like a right side play into and then go left side and clear Ice Armors, I would also put 19 in the vanilla spot for the big key. But I'm not so cruel as to ever wish Tower Room on runners. That is just mean.
Oh. You know, let's do tile room. I'll go 22. I'll be that guy.
Like, the seed started off looking like it had really good potential for a jet seed, and then it just kind of condensed into bottlenecks all from then on, like 3 or 4 different bottlenecks, so it really slowed down a lot. So, we could, given the patterns here, we could definitely be looking at a late big key. NinTaylor, he was right by Turtle Rock. He's dipped out. He's doing the Smith chain.
Ouch. Alright. Chest number 1. Half magic. 2, there it is!
So, luckily for everyone, the Fear Agent made his regular guess of 9 and is not winning today. The first one to the closest guess today was Ike_TV with a guess of 3.
Now, we did have a little bit of problems with getting the game set up, and I did notice that Crimson Damon also guessed 3 before we got the game started. So, for Crimson Damon, as a consolation prize, I will offer you a year's supply of Randomizer seeds. All you have to do is go to ALTTPR.com and claim your prize! Offer only valid to version 32 of the Randomizer. Offer completely ignores the fact that anybody can go to ALTTPR.com and claim the prize. The Randomizer is for everyone. However, your Randomizer lasts longer than 4 hours. Please consult the spoiler log. Have your doctor check you for eye suckitis, which involves an addiction to powder and potions. Terms and conditions apply. Void where prohibited. Japan 1.0 ROM not included.
I think I glossed over the small text there. I'm just going to sign the EULA without even looking at it.
Alright, so as NinTaylor makes his way back to Turtle Rock at 1:38:25, Thalane's into the gauntlet.
Taylor is heading back into Turtle Rock now and is probably getting pretty sore about missing out on that fire rod.
Alright, and as NinTaylor heads back into Turtle Rock, Thalane is on his way to Lambo 2. Thalane is making really good time on his way through the gauntlet.
Just gotta wait for that chain jump to get out of the way, and then Taylor picks up his fire rod. He doesn't really have the time for any frustration because he probably figures he's already behind at this point, so he's just heading straight over to the right side to pick up his key so he can retrace his steps again and get to the back of Turtle Rock.
I mean, you almost have to think both runners feel behind the way the seed played out and the fact that, like, a lot of times they last locationed different things as the seed went along. So, I mean, NinTaylor certainly feels behind at this point, but you gotta think Thalaine also feels behind as well.
It's kind of been a theme of the Death Mountain Division last locationing items. But there was a team here called Last Locationers, so you couldn't just blame them for anything that may pop up in races like this.
True.
Thalane's got his half magic, he knows where all the mail upgrades are, so he's not going to get one from the validation chest, and he doesn't want any more heart containers, so straight up to Aga 2.
Alright, time for the geometry wars. Both bubbles hit at the same time, so that only counts as a single. But that sets up for a double.
Fortunately got blue balls there.
Double there. And that will do it. 1, 2, 2, 1. Aga 2 is down, and it is time for the big pig.
You were quite dismissive of beans on toast earlier, but how about egg and bacon on toast?
I'm game with that. I'm aching for some bacon.
You know, I almost said, I reckon he's going to give us the food code, and he did. Grumble, 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 grumble. You were supposed to bring food. So,
See, here's the thing, Ganon. You are the food.
Thalane is simply cutting through him like a hot knife through butter. Though the butter is the hot knife. Takes a hit from the fire bats there, so he's on dangerous health right now, and he's not choosing to dip into his blue potion, which I think he still has.
Yeah, he still has them. He hasn't used any of his potions.
He does also have a fairy, so yeah, if he does take a death here, he'll just come back to life with a fairy, so he doesn't need a potion as such.
We did find the arrows in the light world. Fire bat prevents him from getting one there. But we'll get one there, so 3 more to go. There's 2. Gonna reset the torches once they go out. Wait, did we get a reverse torch glitch?
I don't think so.
The left one just stayed on. Well, either way, Thalane gets it done and gets the first win of the Death Mountain Division Finals from Team Awesome. Just has to walk through the door and finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 47 seconds. Spam those GGs in chat.
The value, says the Triforce, but 143 finish after how just quick the early game was in the first 20 minutes. Yeah, that's a little disappointing. But no matter. Really good finish.
And as Trinex is down for SuperNinTaylor, we are joined by Thalane in chat. GG.
Hey, GG's.
So, we have to talk about that spike cave.
Yeah, okay, so, that's like an easy answer, to be honest, because I play with a map tracker, right? And I wasn't sure if I wanted to do Paradox Cave or Spike Cave, so I thought, okay, let's do Paradox Cave first, and then maybe I get like boots or something that will make it quicker to go to Spike Cave, or the other way around, I don't know. Like, it doesn't really matter, but I did Paradox Cave and I already marked off Spike Cave, because I wanted to do, like, both in succession. But then I got the hook shot, while I was thinking, dude, if hook shot is, like, here on EDM, that's gonna be huge, right? And I found the hook shot, and then I thought, man, that's really good, right? And I was so distracted by, you know, being able to full clear Swamp that I just didn't, like, remark the Spike Cave, right? If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's done that. I'm just really surprised I won that, but I already heard from SuperNinTaylor that he went into Maya, I think, and he also was not happy the way he played. So yeah.
Well, and that was honestly the question I was going to ask you, because I was going to ask, like, especially with that Spike Cave hiccup, like, were you feeling behind most of the race?
Honestly, sure, you feel behind after stuff like this. Also, I don't really know how much time that cost me, right? Because who knows when NinTaylor did that, and he might have, you know, routed more efficient with the mids and all that, and so it's hard to say. So you don't only lose the time you stand around at the end and like think about, oh, which location did I forget? It's also like efficiency time, right? And yeah, so I felt kind of behind, but then I couldn't really tell because until that point it went quite okay, I would say. And also after that it was really good in my opinion, because I thought, okay, I need to do something here to make up time again. So I went for Ice Palace, I got the Ice Rod, and then thought, okay, like obviously the most like weird play would be Misery Mire right now, but I can't do that now that I have the Ice Rod already. So I have to go for like the easy check. So it's gonna be Maya Shed and then Dark Death Mountain, and I also would go into T-Rock and see how far I can get. And yeah, I'm glad that worked out. So let's say it went pretty good except for these mids.
I mean, the thing is, the way that race played out, you know, with Aga being required to start, and then the way the Titans mids played out in Spike Cave, it just worked out to where both of you kind of, you'd get, like, the seed would open up, and then it would bottleneck on something, whether it was, you know, Aga, or Swamp Palace, or Spike Cave. And so the thing was, as much as, like, there was divergence between you two, you both basically got converged back to the same spot, to where going into that, you know, finishing up Ice Palace and the choice between full clearable Pendant Mire or Fire Rodless Turtle Rock, that one choice was the difference in the race.
I mean, I had the Maya area, including Misery Maya. I also had all the Smith stuff, minus, what was it, Magic Bat, because I did Fake Powder earlier. And like all of Dark Death Mountain, including T-Rock. So I thought, okay, I just have to do easy checks, and Smith stuff, like everything of that just takes way too long. Going into Misery Maya takes way too long, so I just checked the Maya Shed, Checkerboard Cave, and then go up the mountain. I think that was like an okay decision at that point, and it worked out. I mean, you can't always say it's like the right decision or something, because obviously the Fire Rod could have also been in Misery Maya, and then I would have lost, maybe.
I mean, really, it just that's the nature of Rando, though. At that point, you know, you have to take a gamble, and it's really just a question of which gamble are you willing to make.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to go back to, you had another interesting decision, because very early on, you went to, you did escape sequence, went up to Lost Woods, and then saved and quit and went to South Shore, and took a while before you went back to Kakariko, excuse me. What was the thinking there?
I was just hoping to find either a bottle or the flute somewhere, and we already got blessed by like, yeah, many bombs. We had a good weapon with the sword. I also found the bow in that drop down, so I thought, okay, let's just do everything. Why not? Maybe I'll find something. Then I found Tempered and Cane in Eastern, so I was like, okay, that's really good now. Unless it's an Aga required seed, and which turned out it was, so I was pretty sure SuperNinTaylor was gonna get all that stuff too. And yeah. So basically I was just hoping for a bottle or a flute. The flute or a bottle. The other way around.
No, that makes sense. So this gives your team, Team Awesome, the first win in the Death Mountain Division Finals. So how have you been feeling in the league, and now that you're got the first win. How you feeling heading into the rest of these finals?
I'm curious to see how the other two guys will manage. I know that I will play game number 4, so I will have at least one more match in the league. Yeah, we will see. I mean, obviously Kyong and Furemi are really good players as well, so yeah, I just hope we somehow get another win and then maybe I can clutch it out in game 4 or something. That would be pretty cool. But we'll see.
Certainly. We should go ahead and take the time to make sure that the second race between your teams is going to be tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. The C players of Kyong92 and Hitsuyen1137 are going to be playing, and the higher team of Furaime got to choose the setup for the C level match. We are getting Uncle Assured, all dungeons, and Key Sanity.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for Hitsu, especially because I would say his execution is slightly worse than Kyong's, and it's, I mean, all dungeons, Key Sanity, that takes a while, right? So, we'll see how it goes.
Alright, well, NinTaylor is making his way through the gauntlet. We'll be up to floor 6 here shortly. Ooh, missed on the fire rod, but does get in.
Alright, I think I'm gonna go out for now, but thank you guys so much for commentating once again. Also, DMN, I think this is like the 3rd time he tracked a match for me in the last like 2 weeks or something, so thank you so much for all the engagement and all that. And yeah, thanks for the race, SuperNinTaylor, if you're watching the VOD later. That was a lot of fun racing against a friend, so thanks for that.
Well, thank you, thalane. That again, as maddening as that seed was, it was certainly entertaining to watch. So, once again, please be sure to give both thalane and NinTaylor follows on Twitch for the exciting race they gave us. So, GG's thalane, congrats on your win, and we'll see if we see you later on. But ooh, NinTaylor's gonna attempt to hover.
Oh, nice. All right, see you guys.
See ya. He gets it done.
Thanks for joining. Nice hover.
And yeah, chat also asking if there's another race. While we're heading into the Geometry Wars, Dante and Act the Boker over in the Lake Hylia division, at 7:30 Eastern, we will have those are the A runners between the Titansmiths and Team 4K Fourth and a Forehead. So that will be open mode randomized swords. Alright, I got 2 down for SuperNinTaylor.
NinTaylor heading into Ganon in about the same status as thalane was. He did go out of his way to pick up that blue mail from the desert ledge, and he also picked up the heart container from Bob's torch that thalane skipped on, so slightly more defensive, one bit more life.
But still, Butter Sword, this should be easy as pie.
Just kind of disappointing that a shield never pops up. Because then we'd have a, not a complete tracker, but a fully filled out tracker.
NinTaylor missed the first. Ganon teleport, but gets there. Oh!
Takes a death from a rogue fire bat, but he still had a fairy, so he's good. Did you find the hours in Light World? We found the hours in Light World about 10-15 minutes in.
Something like that. And a triple to finish it off.
Compensating for that use for fairy there, so
And with that, SuperNinTaylor finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 5 seconds. GG's to SNT.
honestly, he was really just like a half a minute, a couple minutes ahead of failing at so many points. It really came down to just which are you going to gamble for, in my opinion. He just went for the Mizumaya gamble. Mizumaya didn't pan out, then he went for Smith's Chain, and yep, got his 5 about 10 minutes later, and that was it.
Yep. And SuperNinTaylor is in the text chat. We haven't seen if he's going to join us for voice chat.
Looks like he does want to join us from judging from ISC, so we should be seeing him shortly.
Okay. Alright.
Looks like he's having some trouble joining. We're just gonna try and get this fixed.
Alright. Well, while you guys are doing that, I will go check the Speed Gaming schedule and see what else we have on the Speed Gaming network of channels. We've got Ocarina of Time Randomizer still in progress on Speed Gaming 3. Here on the main channel at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, we will have the Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer. And as we mentioned earlier, 7:30 on Speed Gaming 2 will be the ALTTPR League match between the Titans Mitts and 4K Fourth and a Forehead. We've got some Zelda 1 multi-category after the Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer on Speed Gaming 1. We also have the daily race for the Link to the Past Randomizer over on Speed Gaming 5 at 9 p.m. Eastern. As well as at the same time, we'll have the Overworld Glitches tournament going on Speed Gaming 3 at 9 p.m. Eastern. And sounds like we've got SuperNinTaylor joining us in chat. GG.
You guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Alright, perfect.
So, yeah, we gotta talk about Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
What was kind of the choice went into your thinking about going to the choice between Meyer and Turtle Rock heading into that last part of the race?
Well, by then I figured I was way behind. Like, way behind. Because right after I checked, like I skipped Swamp Palace, there was only one item left, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make the skip. And then I just checked everything else, or I thought I did. And then I realized I couldn't do anything, so I thought my item was back in Swamp Palace. That was the only location I could think of. And I finished that. And after I got the last item in Swamp, I was like, wait, what did I miss? I had no idea what I missed. And then I remembered about Spike Cave. But then, even after that, as I was going to Spike Cave, I was like, wait, I didn't even check King's Tomb either. I meant to check King's Tomb after Skullwoods, and then I forgot about that as well. But yeah, I figured because I went all the way back to Swamp when I still had Spike Cave, that any lead I might have had would have just completely blown. And I decided from then my only chance was to gamble and hope it pays off. And none of the gambles paid off.
Yeah, which is, as we were telling Thalane earlier, I mean, if you go back and watch the VOD, the thing is that you guys were pretty much neck and neck for the whole race, because what essentially happened was you'd get some sort of divergence, and then it all bottlenecked back into Aga 1, and then Pod. and then that then opened the seed up a bit more. But then you guys basically got bottlenecked again into Swamp Palace, and then trying to find the Titan's Mitts in Spike Cave. So you guys were both in Ice Palace, pretty much neck and neck on that decision between Mire and Turtle Rock, and that's honestly what it came down to.
Yeah, see, I thought he was quite a bit ahead of me, so that's why I made the decision. So I didn't think it was actually that close.
I mean, it makes sense. Oops,
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm kind of echoing on you. But yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like, it's not necessarily... the one thing we like to say is that it's not necessarily a bad play, it just today turned out to be the wrong play.
Yeah, I mean, like, statistically, the chances of Fire Rod being in Mire were pretty low. It's only 2 items in Mire. I still had all of Dark Death Mountain, Turtle Rock. I didn't even do the Smith Chain, but... I just, yeah, like I said, I thought my only chance was to gamble big and hope it paid off, because I really screwed up on remembering which locations I still had and which I didn't. And my execution was quite a bit off, too, this morning. So I wasn't feeling good at all throughout the race.
We were kind of saying it was neck and neck between you two for most of the race, and we were calling stuff thalane was the first one into Hype Cave, but then we were saying things like SuperNinTaylor is the first one to beat Agahnim, SuperNinTaylor is the first one into Spike Cave. Funny note about it, actually, thalane thought he'd done Spike Cave and had marked it on his tracker, so once he did the King's Tomb, I think it was King's Tomb, he got really confused and kind of dashed about for a bit, not knowing where to go. He went back into pod to open up his the vanilla big key chest, so he got another key to open a door to get another key, so he wasted a lot of time there.
Yeah.
And there was just little things like that sort of where you fell behind a little bit, just allowed you to actually catch up and get ahead. It only came down to him going to Turtle Rock versus you going to Mire.
Yeah, that's the thing, like, you have no idea what's happening on your opponent's side, at least you shouldn't know. So, like, you think you're playing bad, someone else could be playing much worse than you, so it's really hard to feel, like, when you're playing bad, it's hard to feel good about your race, even though, like, you know it's possible someone else could be doing worse. You always just expect the other person's doing well. At least that's how I go about it.
Well, any final thoughts with your team? Unfortunately, taking the first loss, but this is still a best of 5. Any thoughts on how things will be heading, moving into the rest of this divisional final?
I got faith in my partners. I think we're still in good shape.
Well, again, thank you very much, SuperNinTaylor. You and thalane put on quite the race. And once again, please be sure to give both of them follows on Twitch for the entertainment they've given us today.
Alright, thanks for commentating, guys. And I'm gonna head out now. I'll check out the VOD.
Yep, definitely recommend it.
Alright, see ya.
Alright. So, with that, as thalane called out earlier, did want to give a shout out to our tracker. Dimensive did a good job keeping track of all those items, especially all the items we got early on. And Revolving Ocelot, it was a pleasure having you in the commentary booth again.
Absolutely. So we've only got a few more games left in this division, and I'm not quite sure how many games are left in the Lake Hylia division. I believe they're on the finals now, right?
Yeah, they're both into the finals. I think Titan's Mitts and 4K Fourth and Forehead, I think that's race... I'm checking real quick, but I think that's race number... Yeah, that's race number 3. I don't know what the standings are between those two teams, but I know the race between Dante and Aknaboker is going to be the 3rd race of the Lake Hylia finals.
Dante actually in chat saying us, their record is 1-1 at the moment, so all up for grabs still.
Absolutely.
So I will be checking that out later tonight for absolute sure.
Definitely. All right. Well, for thalane, SuperNinTaylor, and Dimensive and Revolving Ocelot, I am Jex Reffi. Thank you all to the Speed Gaming staff and the ALTTPR League staff. It's all volunteer work behind the scenes to keep the lights on here at the Speed Gaming network of channels. And your bit donations or subs are what keep those lights on here, and we all certainly appreciate it. So, thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to check out that race between Dante and Actaboker at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Speed Gaming 2. And we'll see you all next mission.
Thanks for joining us.